number 47. This is the men's collegiate varsity third final. 6 crews on this one, and we'll have things underway here shortly.
Okay, event number 47. It's the men's collegiate varsity third final. Lane number 1, Washington State University. Lane number 2, Rollins College. Lane 3, Santa Clara University. Lane 4, Chapman University. Lane 5, Arizona State University. Lane 6, University of California, Berkeley.
Washington, Rollins, Santa Clara, Chapman, Arizona State, Cal lightweights. Attention. Go.
We have a start to the men's collegiate varsity third final. All 6 of the crews are out cleanly out of their starting blocks. The early leader is Rollins in lane 2 by about a seat over lane 1, Washington State, and lane 5, Arizona State. Then it's lane 6, University of California, Berkeley. Then Santa Clara University, and then Chapman. As the 6 crews settle into their race cadence, shifting down, it is Rollins College in lane 2. Arizona State University out in lane 5. And it's Santa Clara in lane 3. Cal in lane 6. Chapman. Coming up to the 500 meters. Still remains Rollins, Arizona State, Washington State in the lane 1. Santa Clara, Cal, then Chapman.
Once again, checking on our lane assignments here, we have Washington State on the shoreline side. That's lane number 1. Rollins College in lane 2. They are currently on the lead. In lane 3, Santa Clara. In lane number 4, Chapman. Arizona State is in lane number 5, and they are challenging Rollins for the leadership. And in lane number 6, it is California.
The crew in lane number 6 is the University of California Lightweight Club program. They would average, I'm not sure what the collegiate weight for lightweights is, but internationally it's 70 kilos. So they're obviously at a weight disadvantage compared to the other competitors in this race, but notwithstanding that, they're a competitive boat. The crew from Washington State University in Pullman is another club program. They perhaps illustrate the vagaries of club rowing, which is that you can have a great crew like they did a couple of years ago. They won the Western Intercollegiate Rowing Association final, but that continuity is far more difficult to maintain in a club program compared to a varsity program which has the support of its athletic department and is able to provide more stability to the ongoing planning for the program.
In lane number 2, Rollins is still hanging on to the lead, but along the shoreline, Washington State has moved up. Arizona on the far outside remains in the hunt. Santa Clara has edged up slightly. Then on the far outside, it is Cal.
Seems to be Rollins who have established the lead. They're just coming into the slight shelter of the shore that we're on at the moment. Although the conditions out there seem to be a nice, steady tailwind, almost perfect, as Michelle was referring to previously. And it doesn't appear that one side of the course is favoured one over the other. And it's the Rollins crew in lane number 2 that's taking advantage of that. They're being tracked by Santa Clara in 3 and by Washington State in 1. It looks like the winner of this race is probably going to come out of there. The challenge to those 3 is coming out of lane 5, Arizona State, with Chapman in 4 and California lightweights trailing slightly.
And make a quick comment, if you would, Charles. The tide is beginning to come in. How does that affect the race?
Well, it's going to. The time should be faster with a nice, gentle tail breeze and the tide coming in. The crews have the assistance of both as they come up the race course.
Rollins continues to be in the lead. They are in lane number 2, and they're beginning to open up a little water there over their challenger along the shoreline, Washington State. Santa Clara has kind of snuck up into things. On the far outside is Arizona State, and they're being challenged on their outside shoulder by Cal. The only crew that has dropped out of contention completely is Chapman. This is Rollins on the lead, light colored jerseys. Along the shoreline is Washington State. On the outside of Rollins is Santa Clara. Then all the way outside to Arizona State, and Cal beginning to make a move on them. Chapman continues to trail. Cal is on the move on the outside. They have closed ground on Arizona State. It might be a little bit too late, too little too late, as now Rollins has picked up the stroke, and so has Washington State.
This is a real tussle now between Rollins and Washington State. Rollins, of course, is a small liberal arts college with a very small enrollment, or relatively small, compared to Washington State's, and they're doing a great job here.
Rollins continuing to hang on to the lead as Washington State has ratcheted it up, but it is apparently too little too late once again. Rollins is on the blue shell with the blue and white jerseys, and they are currently in that first position. Washington State along the shoreline with Santa Clara beginning to pick it up. Unofficially, Rollins moves across first, about 6 seats ahead of Washington State. Then comes Santa Clara sneaking up into that third position. On the far outside, California has eclipsed Arizona State, and trailing is Chapman College. Washington State making a great move along the shoreline, but they just couldn't quite pick it up as Rollins had a substantial enough lead by the time that Washington State kicked it in that they were able to fight off the challenge. So the third final winner here in the men's collegiate varsity will be Rollins out of Winter Park, Florida.
These third finals are, of course, for positions 13 and up in the ranking in that particular event.